Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV on the free Radio Parami app. Download it now.
687-7979. That's 800-687-7979. 800-687-7979.
Yet another federal judge has ruled against President Trump, this one out in California, ordering legal aid be restored to unaccompanied migrant children in the U.S. after legal aid groups had sued over their funding being cut by the Trump administration. Now, the Senate is going to hold a hearing this morning into what Republicans call judicial activism, the day after a similar House hearing.
These rogue judge rulings are a new resistance to the Trump administration.
Congressman Darrell Issa at yesterday's House hearing, he's proposing legislation to limit the scope of those rulings, not allowing nationwide injunctions. But Democratic Congressman Hank Johnson says judges need to step in to rein the president in.
Trump acts first, he deports first, he revokes funding first, he blacklists law firms first, and then questions anyone who challenges him later.
Another hearing focused on the thousands of newly declassified files from the Kennedy assassination ordered by President Trump, documents sealed for decades.
Vietnam Army veteran and filmmaker Oliver Stone asking lawmakers to reopen the investigation into President Kennedy's 1963 assassination.
The chain of custody on the rifle, the bullets, the fingerprints, the autopsy.
Stone co-wrote and directed the 1991 political thriller titled JFK, which depicts the killing as a government conspiracy.
What did the CIA know about Lee Harvey Oswald, and when did they know it? A whole lot.
Journalist and expert researcher on the topic, Jefferson Morley, telling lawmakers he believes Kennedy's own government was the intellectual author of the president's violent death, and Oswald was influenced by the CIA. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
On Wall Street, there could be more selling at the opening bell. Dow futures are down 200 the day after a slight 11-point Dow decline to start April after a big March sell-off. The NASDAQ gained 150 points to start the month. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
It is an April 2nd edition of the Valley's Morning News, News Radio for South Texas. Along with show producer Fred Cruz and AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine. He's on standby, should join us in about 3 minutes. I'm Sergio Sanchez. We're still talking about that big flood late last week. Valley International Airport had to shut down for a couple of days as a result of the flood. Now they're assessing the integrity of one of their runways. VIA is using just 2 of their 3 runways following Thursday's and Friday's flood. Officials at Harlingen Valley International Airport say that the main runway has been shut down to evaluate the condition of the pavement. They've been taking some samples of the materials to see if they can use it again. Meantime, employees of FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Agency, expected in the Valley today. FEMA workers going to begin evaluating the damage caused by the big flood late last week, encouraging folks who were affected by the flood to participate and provide their data, their damages, through an online damage assessment tool. Several areas of the valley still underwater following the big flood late last week, and cleanup and repairs are underway. It's 7:07 on the Valley's Morning News. On border security issues, currently around 40 counties in Texas are actively working with federal ICE agents on deportations, and some lawmakers are working on legislation that would make it a mandate that all sheriffs, especially in urban counties, that they participate with the federal government when it comes to deportations.
State Senator Charles Schwertner's Senate Bill 8 would require the sheriff of each county with a population of 100,000 or more to enter into the ICE 287 program. It provides immigration training and allows sheriffs to detain up to 48 hours.
It allows ICE enforcement and removal operations to partner with state and local law enforcement
to identify and remove criminal aliens.
Senate Democrats argued federal law should be handled by federal law enforcement. State Senator Roland Gutierrez.
Absolutely an unfunded mandate on our cities. And Senator Schwertner, I don't want murderers to be deported. I want them to go to prison.
In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
State of Texas marking another milestone in the push to secure the southern border.
Texas has claimed possession of 2 cartel-infested islands along the Rio Grande. Land Commissioner Don Buckingham says this is part of an ongoing effort to eliminate safe havens used by smugglers.
We take away these spaces from which the cartels operate, so we make it more difficult for them to operate.
She says claiming these islands and others has been extremely successful when it comes to pushing the cartels back into Mexico. They no longer have a hiding spot that's halfway into the Rio Grande, she says.
Securing Texas schools with an air force of sorts. Some lawmakers talking about drones protecting schools. We'll share that idea from Austin. That's coming up right after AccuWeather. And big thank you to Dougie and all the gang from Martin Farm and Ranch. They provide us 7 o'clock AccuWeather. Purina Feed for maximum nutrition for your pets and livestock. Give your animals the best nutrition that can be found at Martin Farm and Ranch, Monte Cristo in Edinburgh, your certified Purina dealer. AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine is joining us, and let's get the 7 o'clock numbers. What you got, Jeffrey?
Well, I got 78 in Brownsville. It's 78 in McAllen as well. 76 Harlingen, 78 in Weslaco, and 77 in Edinburgh. A nice, cool start to the day. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, triple digits today for highs, right? Similar for tomorrow and maybe going into Friday as well. You told me yesterday that we might be seeing a cold front, and we'll call it what it is. It's cold front, a 20-degree difference.
Right.
By what? Sunday? Saturday? What do you expect that to
Saturday night. So
Okay.
Saturday night, we'll see some showers and thunder showers push through. Winds are going to shift out of the north at that point, and overnight lows for Saturday night, mid to upper 50s to low 60s.
Excellent. So what happens north of us, with all the cold and hot air combining in Central Texas and North Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right now, Dallas actually is under or going to be under this very thin line of showers and thunderstorms right now. But what's going to happen over the next 72 hours, so today through Friday, is that boundary is going to stall. And so multiple days of severe weather anticipated could bring hail, damaging winds, and there could be some tornadoes too. In addition, of course, the heavy rainfall by end of day Friday and even actually a little bit into Saturday could be looking at around 2 to 4 inches.
All right. Pay attention to the weather, people, especially if you wind up in the Metro Dallas area. They see some nasty weather this time of year up there. All right. Let's check the National Day calendar for today. Oh, here's a good one. National Peanut Butter and Jelly Day. And, of course, that's lots of sugar and lots of calories. So get your steps in because it's also National Walking Day.
There you go. Yeah, I was going to say, you better at least mention that. Because if you're eating peanut butter jelly, you got to get those steps in.
Oh, but it's healthy. It's fruit, right? And it's nuts. Yeah, but
Sure.
It's
Justify it that way.
it's good for you. Better than a chocolate bar, right? What were you saying, Freddie? Yeah. Crunchy or smooth? The extra peanuts in there? Or
My dad says 100% of the time crunchy. I say creamy. He says it's an insult to the family. I'm like, all right, well,
Well, he thankfully hasn't disowned you for
well,
that.
and my mom, she's also in the crunchy part.
Yeah.
She
You know
likes
why,
it.
though? Yeah.
Huh?
Old people like your parents and like yours truly here. We like to keep some of those extra peanuts between our teeth. For later. Later in the day.
And that is why you eat the actual peanut. The peanut butter is like butter. It's supposed to spread, not get all caught up on nuts.
We've started a major debate this morning.
Yes, we did.
We'll continue this next hour. That's AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine. Yeah, triple digits today and tomorrow. Just yuck, just nasty hot weather. But check those forecasts from AccuWeather.com. It's fascinating. Cold front Saturday, late Saturday. And highs by Sunday, highs will be in the low 70s. I forgot to ask Jeffy what that would mean like overnight. Probably in the 50s, I would imagine, right? Time is 7:12 on News Talk 710 KURV. Oh, big thank you to Dougie from Martin Farm and Ranch. It's going to be a scorcher today, tomorrow, and for a few days. Make sure your cattle have Purina liquid feed. See old Dougie at Martin Farm and Ranch. You stop by, give him a hug from us. Some Texas lawmakers are looking to secure Texas schools by using an air force of sorts, drones.
Instead of more boots on the ground, legislation was debated this week that would allow schools to fly armed drones when there are reports of a gunman.
Wow.
Backers say if this were available in Uvalde, it would have stopped that massacre.
We would have been flying drones against him already, so we would have been ready to meet him at the door.
Bill King is with a drone company called Campus Guardian Angel. He says if a school shooter is inside, they can fly the drone at a window and crash through. The cost, he says, for a small campus, it's about $15,000.
Michael Board with that report. President Trump expecting, he says, $5 trillion in investments by foreigners into this country to produce goods and sell it to the number one market on the planet, which would be America. Today, he's announcing some reciprocal tariffs against Canada, Mexico, China, and the European Union. That announcement from the White House expected at 3 p.m. today. Tariffs leading to uncertainty, maybe some capital on the sidelines, waiting to figure out where all the money's going. Conversation with economist Tim Snyder coming up at 7:15 on the Valley's Morning News. Join us online, Radio Para Mi. Download the free app.
Active Liver is the easy way to get daily detox to keep you healthy and feeling your best. Find Active Liver at your local CVS or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
Join the Radio United team. We're looking for a marketing consultant to join our dynamic team in the RGV. Are you self-motivated, goal-driven, and ready to help businesses grow? This is your chance to develop and sell advertising and marketing campaigns across multiple platforms, including radio, digital, social media, and more. Requirements include minimum of 3 years of outside sales experience, strong communication, presentation, and negotiation skills, valid driver's license, and reliable transportation. Bilingual is preferred. Must be legally authorized to work in the United States. Send your resume today to humanresources@radiounited.com. Radio United, we're an equal opportunity employer.
Are you planning to start a mobile food business with a fully customized trailer? We are what you need. A family-owned business since 2001, Sanchez Trailers, your one-stop shop for your custom food trailer needs. We are local and our food trucks and food trailers are made in the USA, built in Texas using the best materials available, 100% NSF-approved equipment from top to bottom. Mobile kitchens, food trucks, concession trailers. We have it all. Visit us today at 224 Frontage Road in Alamo. Call 961-4793, 961-4793.
This is your news, weather, and talk station. News Talk 710, KURV, and KURV.com.
15 minutes after the hour, this is the morning news on News Talk 710 KURV, your one and only radio station in all of South Texas for the Westwood One coverage, the broadcast of the NCAA Men's Final Four. So go Cougars, go U of H. They're in the Final Four this coming Saturday. And, of course, we got the championship game on Monday. All this made possible here in the Rio Grande Valley by McAllen Bolt. President Donald Trump is referring today, the tariff implementation day, as Liberation Day. He wants reciprocal tariffs. U.S. goods for the longest time headed to Canada or the European Union, whether it's consumer goods or electronics, agriculture, machinery, whatever it is. We've come to learn, I have, and I know a lot of you in business have learned, that Europeans and Canadians and others have been charging a lot, big taxes, U.S. goods headed overseas. Well, President Trump says reciprocal. Let's say Canada, for example, you charging us whatever, 150% on X ag product. We're going to do the same on that specific ag product. Or we could just go back to zero and do nothing, just do the free trade thing. Joining us right now is Tim Snyder, my friend Tim Snyder, economist from MatadorEconomics.com. Haven't seen much as far as another delay on these tariffs. I guess they're kicking in sometime today if they haven't kicked in already. So I was hoping, Tim, that maybe you could help us wrap our brain around some of the numbers, some of the tariffs that were not in news for the longest time and now are because we're looking at this reciprocal strategy from the White House.
Sergio, it's great to be with you this morning. One of the things that I think frustrates me as much as anything is that, and it's frustrating the market right now, is the fact that there's just no clarity. How many times have you and I discussed about market psychology and the fact that markets crave stability. And from a tariff standpoint, we've not been able to give anything that shows any sort of gives any sort of hints as to what the president's going to do with his tariffs. We've been all over the board. It's just kind of strange, but we've heard everything from 25% tariffs on everything to selected tariffs on some things. We've gone, from hither to yon, just trying to understand, what's going on. Corporations are frustrated right now. Markets are frustrated. The silly box that hangs on the wall in your office called a television set, and the prognosticators that are out there are frustrated because they're not being able to keep their lollipops. I mean, they like their lollipops. They like their perks. They like to know ahead of time what's going on. Right now, we don't have any ability to prepare for what the president's going to say. He may come out with a retaliatory tariff that says, okay, 20% on everybody doesn't make any difference whether we do it or not. And so, you're just going to deal with it. He may deal with reciprocal tariffs that are, you charge me 3%, we'll charge you 3%. There's a number of these different scenarios going on, and quite frankly, it's been frustrating for the markets. Now, I have to give a caveat to that, Sergio, and that is this: when you're in a negotiation, you don't walk in there with an open book. You don't give your game plan to the opponent that you're negotiating with. It's like taking your hand and playing poker and then showing the guy what you have the same time that he's showing you what he has. We don't accomplish anything here. So, that's really and truthfully where we stand. And unfortunately, why the president has backed off from really giving any greater detail on the tariffs.
Is it true that tariffs have been very painful on, for example, Canada? And people posting that American chicken has been slapped a 260% tax all this time, that certain fish products, 160% tax going into Canada, cheese, 147% tax from the U.S. headed to Canada. Are all these reports true? Because the president says this has been going on for the longest time, that American growers and manufacturers have been getting screwed for the longest time, and it's time for it to stop. It's time to open up those markets. Either that, or set up your Canadian manufacturing or processing in the U.S., which is what he's hoping to do as one of his strategies, trying to get manufacturing back in the U.S. and production into the U.S. for the biggest consumer, the United States of America. Advantage to the U.S. We have the largest largest economy, largest GDP, with the largest customer base. So the reason they're showing up to negotiate with us is because we are the number one customer for stuff. Otherwise, they wouldn't be coming to the negotiating table.
That is so true. And, it's funny to look at this. I did a little bit of research after you and I talked about this the other day. And one of the things that I think is kind of interesting is you look at the sheer volume of the trade deficit, of the $1.2 trillion trade deficit that we have. Who are the biggest, I guess, I hate to say this, offenders, but who are the biggest participants on the other side of the spectrum here? China represents $295.4 billion of that $1.2 trillion trade deficit. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting. We're going to get to Canada in just a second. These are the top 5 participants in this trade deficit. Doesn't cover all of it, but it covers a significant amount of it. Mexico, $171.9 billion. Mexico's number 2, Sergio.
Wow.
Germany, $84.4 billion worth of that $1.2 trillion deficit. Japan, $68.5 billion. And Canada is $63.33 billion worth of that trade deficit. Now, I think Canada protesteth too much. Sorry to be a little Shakespearean early in the morning, but the facts are that we've got a serious trade deficit with China right now. We do have a serious trade deficit with Mexico right now, which makes me think that when we talk about automobiles tomorrow in the discussion on the reciprocal portion of this trade program, I believe that we're going to probably see a pretty serious program that relates to autos. I read day before yesterday, 100% of the automobiles sold in the United States have a foreign component to them, Sergio, which means tariffs. Okay, so what's going to happen with auto parts? That's a big portion. It could be excluded tomorrow. There are still so many things not on the table.
And for the jobs that the president, I know, is seeking to bring back to the country, and anecdotally speaking, there have been some reports on some manufacturer, for example, in this company, not going to open up in Mexico or expand production of whatever vehicle in Mexico. We'll just do it in the Rust Belt somewhere. Foreign automakers, they have factories, Hyundai and Toyota, they've got factories in the U.S. that it will not take them, years to build a new one. They just need to expand operations at those factories. And more than likely, that's what's happening. And I suspect that's what the president might be thinking about when he says he's expecting a windfall of more investment into America, $5 trillion, he claims. Now, if you add up all of the like SoftBank and another Japanese firm and some other high tech that's coming to the area, even Europeans that announced recently, Siemens, I think, and other folks, you add up all that, he might be close to the first trillion already that has been committed under his, and all this started even before he took the White House. He might be close to the first $1 trillion in foreign investment into this country, with likely more to come, and expansion of operations. Do you see it that way?
I do see it that way. And one of the things that of the $1.2 trillion that is the U.S. trade deficit that we have with the rest of the world, President Trump's goal is to recapture half of that first year. So we're talking $600 billion to come back to the United States in terms of tariffs the first year. Now, what happens after year one is we'll have to see. But I believe that there are opportunities. President Trump also talked on Air Force One on Sunday as they were flying back to Washington in a rather bumpy flight, if you saw the video. But he's talking about the fact that, hey, if you do expand your operations here in Frisco, Texas, which is just the north end of Dallas-Fort Worth area, Frisco has a Mercedes plant. Okay, well, if Mercedes decided to, increase the size of that plant, they commit, another $1 billion of CapEx or $500 million of CapEx. That money, specifically because it's being used here in the United States to increase manufacturing capacity, will be X of tariffs. So they're not going to charge tariff on that. And that's a good thing. Plus, they may find some incentives, not only tax-wise, but corporation-wise, that make this a very workable deal. So the business of that I'm concerned about is the fact that it's gotten spun by the legacy news media to be such a big, bad, horrible thing, when in all reality, it's probably a very good thing and should have been done quite some time ago.
Tim Snyder, MatadorEconomics.com, on this tariff day. Here it is, April 2nd. Some tariffs supposed to be kicking in against the EU and Mexico and Canada and China as well. On the energy side, what do you hear, Tim? I know that it wasn't supposed to be 25%. I think it was going to be like 10%. But look, prices have been going down steadily now for like 4 or 5 weeks at the pump. What can you tell me from the oil patch and from any potential tariffs on energy coming in from Mexico or Canada?
Well, I think we're seeing a lot of regional stress in gasoline prices and those kinds of things. We were up near $3 a gallon here in the Dallas area, and yesterday, Tuesday's the day that we generally get our weekly nominations for gasoline into the local markets, and apparently those prices had come down quite a bit, but they're going to go back up. But we still see upward tension. We got geopolitical issues that are driving prices higher. The oil patch is not right yet responding to what President Trump wants to do in terms of drill, baby, drill. If you look at the Baker Hughes rig count, we're still, we're adding 1, losing 2 every other week. And so we're not really gaining any ground right now. There's an awful lot of question about these tariffs that's really taken the majority of CapEx, not only in the energy industry, but also across the board industrial wise, and set it on the sideline until we know soup to nuts what's gonna be charged.
All right, makes sense. They're sitting on the sidelines waiting for this rocky period to go by. Tim, thank you for your time. We'll check in with you, see what happens in the next several days. From MatadorEconomics.com, economist Tim Snyder. Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Sir Joe.
27 minutes after the hour, this is the Valley's Morning News. News Talk 710 KURV. This radio station, home to the NCAA Men's Final Four and Championship game. That would be this Saturday and Monday, made possible by McAllen Bolt. But the state of Texas be the next state to ban junk food purchases with food stamps, the SNAP cards.
The Texas Senate just passed a bill to limit SNAP benefits from being used on junk food. Supporters say it promotes healthier choices and helps reduce health issues. The bill now heads to the Texas House, and if approved, it could take effect September 2025.
That's reporter Christian Diaz. State of Texas now has over 420 confirmed measles cases. That's the latest from the Texas Department of Health.
A significant jump in measles cases statewide, nearly 100 over the past week. 417 of the 422 unvaccinated or unknown status. The two-dose regimen of the measles, mumps, rubella vaccine is 97% effective against infection, the first typically coming at 12 months old. Dr. Lara Johnson, the chief medical officer at Covenant Health in Lubbock, says her hospitals have begun administering early measles vaccines to infants as young as 6 months old. She says it's safe.
It is. There really aren't any significant concerns with that.
In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
Texas A&M is losing its men's basketball coach. ESPN reported that Buzz Williams has finalized a 6-year deal to become the new coach at Maryland. And a quick entertainment note, Brad Pitt is going to be starting in a follow-up to his Quentin Tarantino film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Are you an actor?
No, I'm a stuntman. Look at me! So you still direct, huh? Still here.
The Hollywood Reporter says Tarantino wrote the script for the new movie, but the director will be Social Network filmmaker David Fincher. Brad Pitt will be reprising his Oscar-winning role as Hollywood stuntman Cliff Booth in the new movie, which the report says is not a sequel to Once Upon a Time, but is based on the film. There are also talks of Leonardo DiCaprio returning as movie star Rick Dalton. Shooting for the film could reportedly begin by late summer. I'm Michael Kastner.
This is the Valley's Morning News. This is News Talk 710 KURV, home to the Astros. We got sports up next on the Valley's Morning News.
At Rivetta's Machinery in Donna, they're bringing the best deals on Coyote equipment to your job site, your farm, or your backyard. Right now, take advantage of 0% interest or up to $6,000 cash back on Coyote track loaders and skid steers. These are machines built for maximum performance no matter the task. But don't stop there. They're also offering fantastic savings on Coyote tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles. And whether you're hauling something, mowing, tackling other big jobs, Coyote has the equipment to help you get it done. If you're looking for great deals and great service from a team that treats you like family, look no further than Rivetta's Machinery and Coyote. Start your next project right. Visit Rivetta's Machinery in Donna, or browse their deals when it suits you at mynewtractor.com. That's their website, mynewtractor.com. Rivetta's for the long haul. See dealer for full details.
I suspect you'd agree with me that anything you do to invest in your family is a worthwhile endeavor. In this case, the investment of time and the organization of some of your assets and decisions that you should make now. We all know that we've all got an expiration date. Thing is, we can't read the label. Well, what is exactly? We have no idea. The Lord says it's time. Well, it's time. And then there's that funeral expense at that moment. And yes, it's a very painful. The separation is just awful and painful. Very painful. And I recall separation when my mom and dad were called home. But let me tell you something. And a reminder on behalf of Mark and Carla McCaleb at the McCaleb Funeral Home in Westwicombe. You see, my mom and dad, they pre-planned and they prepaid. They knew that the Lord someday would call them. And as an only son, they wanted to make things easy for me and my family. And they did. So why don't you call Carla McCaleb, call her, text her. I'm going to give you her number again. and tell Carl, hey, Serge was talking about you again. Come and visit me in Brownsville. Come and visit me in Harlingen. Come over here in wherever, McAllen. Wherever you are, they will come to you. Sit down, pre-plan, prepay. Put it on the shelf, be done with it, wait for the Lord to say it's time, right? I think it's a very loving thing to do for your immediate family. Pre-plan, prepay. Call Carla, Michaela Funeral Home. Again, they will come to you. 956-650-2841.
Wherever you go, there we are. On air, online, on the go. News Talk 710 KURV and KURV.com.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
With your Texas Sports Minute, I'm Alex Salas. The Astros lost last night to the San Francisco Giants 3-1 and get back in action hosting the Giants today at 3:10. And the Rangers got the win last night over the Reds 1-0 thanks to Wyatt Langford, who dinged a home run in the first, but the star of the game was pitcher Nathan Eovaldi.
The two-strike pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Got him with the splitter. That's 8 strikeouts through 6 for Nathan Eovaldi.
Eovaldi pitched a shutout for the first time since 2023, striking out 8, and the Rangers get back on the mound later today at 11:40 with Jack Leiter on the mound. The Spurs fell to the Magic last night 116-105 and visit the Nuggets today with tip-off set for 8. And the Rockets couldn't get past the Lakers 104-98 and will host the Jazz later today with tip-off set for 7. The Mavericks and the Stars get back in action Thursday. I'm Alex Salas with your Texas Sports Minute.
Let's start in the association. Nikola Jokic with a career and NBA best 61-point triple-double, but it wasn't enough. Nuggets fall to the Timberwolves in double overtime. Nuggets third in the West at 47-29. Steph Curry dropped in 52, including 12 threes, to help the Warriors down the Grizzlies. Alex Ovechkin scored his 891st career goal to help the Capitals clip the Bruins in Boston. Ovechkin now 4 goals from breaking Wayne Gretzky's all-time record of 894. At the NFL owners' meetings in Palm Beach, they voted in favor of giving both teams the opportunity to possess the ball in overtime during the regular season, but the tush-push has been tabled for a later time. That's sports. I'm Ronza Moss.
AccuWeather says highs for today, triple digits. Same thing for tomorrow, triple digits. We're going to get some cold air again in South Texas. That would be late Saturday into Sunday. Sunday's highs should be in the low 70s, which means that overnight, like Sunday night, the money should be nice and chilly again. Border Bridge wait times on 710 KURV, and it's posted on KURV.com. Let's see who's busy right now. Hidalgo Bridge, close to a half hour. Same thing at the Far Bridge. And for Brownsville, traffic headed back. 1 hour at B&M and Gateway. Same thing at Veterans. It's 1 hour. Thank you much for joining us. 710 AM radio, KURV. Of course, we've been doing the online thing for the longest time, and we encourage you to join us there. So it's reliable. It's on your smart device. Radio Para Mi, download that free app and join us right now or do a rewind, anything that you missed earlier. Business News Checkup, your money. That's next on 710 KURV. You have a decision you need to make. You got to sell your home. And sometimes you don't have the luxury to stick around. You can't always wait in the market for your home to be sold. That's why you need to trust the only team I'm trusting to sell my home. Help me find a home. It's the Ryan and Brian Real Estate Team with over 600 5-star Google reviews. These are folks who work for the Ryan and Brian team, and they took the time, very valuable time out of their precious time out of their schedule to write some very nice things, to saying some very nice, all truthful, very nice things about the Ryan and Brian Real Estate Team. You got to go, well, leave your home in the hands of the Ryan and Brian Real Estate Team and get it done. Get it sold for what you're looking for, which is, of course, always top dollar. If you need to sell fast, you want to make sure that your home does sell for the most money possible. You need the Ryan and Brian Real Estate Team. Pete, he's part of the team at Ryan and Brian. He helped a couple in San Juan sell their home. They needed to relocate like really quick. So Pete got the job done. The home in San Juan sold quickly and for more than what the owners were asking for, above asking price. That's wonderful. That could be you. Start that conversation today with the Ryan and Brian Real Estate Team at 956-540-2536. The website, ryanandbrian.com. That's RyanandBryan.com.
If you're selling your home, don't be trying. Call Ryan and Bryan. Go to RyanandBryan.com.
Are you planning to start a mobile food business with a fully customized trailer? We are what you need. A family-owned business since 2001, Sanchez Trailers, your one-stop shop for your custom food trailer needs. We are local and our food trucks and food trailers are made in the USA, built in Texas using the best materials available, 100% NSF-approved equipment from top to bottom. Mobile kitchens, food trucks, concession trailers. We have it all. Visit us today at 224 Frontage Road in Alamo. Call 961-4793, 961-4793.
At Rivetta's Machinery in Donna, they're bringing the best deals on Coyote equipment to your job site, your farm, or your backyard. Right now, take advantage of 0% interest or up to $6,000 cash back on Coyote track loaders and skid steers. These are machines built for maximum performance no matter the task. But don't stop there. They're also offering fantastic savings on Coyote tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles. And whether you're hauling something, mowing, tackling other big jobs, Coyote has the equipment to help you get it done. If you're looking for great deals and great service from a team that treats you like family, look no further than Rivetta's Machinery and Coyote. Start your next project right. Visit Rivetta's Machinery in Donna or browse their deals when it suits you at mynewtractor.com. That's their website, mynewtractor.com. Rivetta's for the long haul. See dealer for full details.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC. McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray. I'm with Your Money Now. ADP reports companies added 155,000 jobs in March, a sharp increase from the upwardly revised 84,000 in February, and better than the Dow Jones forecast for 120,000. On the wage side, earnings rose by 4.6% year over year for those staying at their positions and 6.5% for job changers. President Trump has settled on a final plan for reciprocal tariffs, which are expected to take effect today after he announces the details at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. When pressed on whether the administration was worried the tariffs could prove to be the wrong approach, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt struck a note of confidence, saying, quote, "It is going to work." Meta's head of artificial intelligence research has announced that she will be leaving the company. Joelle Pineau, the company's vice president of AI research, announced her departure on a LinkedIn post, saying her last day will be May 30th. Futures are sharply lower ahead of Trump's tariff announcement. That's Your Money Now.
Chevron selling off a big portion of their East Texas assets.
The sale to Tokyo Gas-owned TG Natural Resources is worth $525 million, and it marks an expansion of its U.S. business for Tokyo Gas at a time when President Donald Trump is seeking to boost U.S. gas exports. Tokyo Gas denies the move is in response to any Trump policies, saying they've been looking at this for a long time, but an investment of this scale in the United States is expected to be seen favorably by the Trump administration.
AccuWeather says highs today, triple digits. Same thing tomorrow. At the moment, temperatures upper 70s across the valley. It's 78 at Starbase Brownsville. It's 76, McAllen 76 at Harlingen. Appreciate you joining us on 710 KURV, and we hope that you discover Radio Para Mi. It's a free app, and we're right there, live right now on Radio Para Mi. Also, 7 o'clock hour of the morning news, we do 710 KURV X and 710 KURV YouTube. We do the Facebook thing as well. But again, discover the free app, Radio Para Mi. Do a rewind in case you missed anything. Fox News coming up in 2 minutes on the Valley's Morning News.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in the McAllen at 956-803-0058 in Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
America's number one selling compact tractor is Kubota. and you will find plenty of that Kubota equipment, all the accessories, all the connections. You'll find that at Amigo Power Equipment, as JP and Jeff are celebrating Kubota Orange Days. Number one selling compact tractor in the nation. You will find it at Amigo Power, the number one selling compact tractor and zero-turn mowers, and always the versatile RTVs. Get the performance match that you need for the job at the ranch, at the lease. Get the job done with Kubota. And now through June 13th at Amigo Power Equipment, you can get 0 down and 0% APR for an amazing up to 84 months. Man, that's a long time. 84 months if you qualify. Or you can get up to $3,000 off select compact tractors, Kubota compact tractors at Amigo Power Equipment. You can get more information online at KubotaOrangeDays.com, or just stop by and say hello to the dudes wearing the orange shirts for Kubota Orange Days. JP and Jeff at Amigo Power Equipment, Edinburgh on Monte Cristo.
Easter is a time when we celebrate the resurrection of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. The Bible says that without the shedding of blood, there is no forgiveness of sin. Therefore, God offered his Son as a perfect sacrifice, as full payment for our sins. Trust him as full payment for your sins today.
It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number, $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
Information on your town and your community.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
You do everything else online, you may as well switch from 710 AM radio. And hey, grab your smartphone, turn it on. Get that free app called Radio Para Mi and join us on the Valley's Morning News. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz and AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine. Jeffy's raising the temperature triple digits today, tomorrow. Hey, but he's got a cold front for us for mid-weekend. Temperatures in the 70s by the end of this weekend. Your station for AccuWeather is News Talk 710 KURV. And this check of news, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. This afternoon, President Trump announces his plan for broad-based tariffs on imports from around the world.
Addressing the decades of unfair trade practices that have ripped our country off and American workers off.
These tariffs are a tax increase on American families, plain and simple.
White House spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt and top Senate Democrat Chuck Schumer. Wisconsin Supreme Court will have a 4-3 liberal majority. Susan Crawford beating Brad Schimmel, both supported by out-of-state billionaires.
A lot of money has been spent on this contest by the likes of Republican donors like Elon Musk. Liberals will control Wisconsin's highest court, and that could impact high-profile court cases involving things like abortion, union collective bargaining, and future congressional maps could be challenged and redrawn down the line.
That's Fox's Jeff Paul. In California, Florida, Republicans win both special elections for vacated House seats. America's listening to Fox News.
Employees from FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Agency, expected to be in the Valley today. A FEMA worker is going to begin evaluating some of the damage from the big flood late last week. Meantime, at Valley International Airport, they had to shut down for a couple of days. They opened up this past Saturday after the big flood Thursday, Friday. They're only using 2 of 3 runways at Valley International Airport. Officials at the airport say that the main runway had to be shut down to evaluate the condition of the pavement. They've taken some samples and are running some tests. It's 14 minutes to the hour on the Valley's Morning News. Currently, around 40 counties in Texas are actively working with Federal Immigration Customs Enforcement on deportations of illegal aliens. Meantime, some lawmakers in Austin are passing legislation that would mandate that all sheriffs participate with ICE.
State Senator Charles Schwertner's Senate Bill 8 would require the sheriff of each county with a population of 100,000 or more to enter into the ICE 287 program. It provides immigration training and allows sheriffs to detain up to 48 hours.
It allows ICE enforcement and removal operations to partner with state and local law enforcement
to identify and remove criminal aliens.
Senate Democrats argued federal law should be handled by federal law enforcement. State Senator Roland Gutierrez.
Absolutely an unfunded mandate on our cities. And Senator Schwertner, I don't want murderers to be deported. I want them to go to prison.
In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
And if you'd like to fight Alzheimer's or slow it down, if you speak Inglés, learn Español. Vice versa. You only speak Español? Hey, mom, you need to learn English.
Researchers at Concordia University in Montreal say the area of the brain used for memory showed larger structural volumes, cognitive and functional preservation for people with Alzheimer's who speak multiple languages. Learning another language later in life could still provide benefits. Alzheimer's disease is responsible for about 2/3 of dementia cases. I'm Sarah Lee Kessler.
You're in tune with the Valley's Morning News. This is News Talk 710 KURV, the only radio station in South Texas for the NCAA Men's Final Four and the championship game. Go Cougars. We got U of H in the Final Four this weekend. They've got the marquee game at night, right, Freddie? It's game 2 against Duke. Yeah. So that's Saturday night. Get all the play-by-play right here on 710 KURV. Big thank you to our friend Cesar Aguirre and all the crew. They're at 23rd and Business 83. In McAllen, it's McAllen Bolt. They bring us the NCAA championship in the Final Four this weekend. This is the Valley's Morning News. This is News Talk 710 KURV. The Lent season is a wonderful season at El Pato, and they only bring out the nopalitos and the salmon patties and the salmon plates and the fish tacos. They only do that during Lent season. So we got a few more weeks. We can enjoy the Lent specials at every single El Pato restaurant. And let's say it's time that you don't want to throttle back and change things up. Let's say on a Friday. Well, for example, you could order a nopalito and egg pato, fresh flour tortilla out the skillet. You got some eggs mixed with nopalitos. Oh, that's good anytime. I love nopalitos. You got the nopalito and an egg plate you want to do without the tortilla. Salmon patties and the nopalito plates and the fish tacos ready for you right now at El Pato. Every single El Pato, phone it in, it'll be ready for you. For breakfast, let's say you're headed to the office. You want to get a bag full of breakfast tacos, breakfast patos. They make them when you order. You know where it is? I phone it in. You can also order at elpato.com and have everything ready for you. All your favorites, just like a mom would cook for you at your kitchen there at your house or at grandma's house. You got chorizo, and the refried bean, the potatoes, the bacon, the ham, you name it, even barbacoa waiting for you at El Pato. And don't forget the enchiladas verdes, the great special. Beautiful shredded chicken with a wonderful white cheese all melted on top. It's spicy tomatillo sauce. They are spicy and they're so good with the rice and the beans. And the drink, an amazing only $6.99 enchiladas verdes for a limited time at all El Pato restaurants.
I got a phone call yesterday around noon, and I was at the gym at the time. They called me twice, and I called back, and they told me, you won $1,000, and I didn't believe it. I actually had to call my bank, and I called customer service and everything, and then they also confirmed that it's true that I won, and that's why I love Lone Star National Bank.
Swipe, win, repeat. For every 35 debit card swipes, our customers have a chance at winning $1,000 every quarter. Make the switch to LSNB. Start swiping today.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in the McAllen at 956-803-0058 in Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know. to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710